Great. Let's start on our journey to learn some programming. We'll use the programming language Python. Do not worry if this is the first time you are ever having to do something along the lines of programming. This is literally starting from zero, going forward from there. We'll also avoid having to install any software on our computers. So we use what is called Google Colab, which is actually on the web browser itself. So that will then be very interesting and quite fast without too many frustrations. Once we get used to how to code and understand the ideas behind coding, we can then start incorporating many other tools that make programming more interesting. At this point, I would encourage you to just pay attention to the coding aspect. There is a lot of technology behind it, and a lot of people, me included, make the mistake of trying to make everything too advanced, way too fast, and that all obviously ends up with more frustration than learning. So we're going to go straight to the browser, use Google Colab, start coding in Python, understand Python. Thereafter, we start entertaining other platforms such as what we then call integrated programming language, programming environments or IDEs. But before that, let's get to coding. Let's get to understand what that is all about. Now, why would we consider learning Python? Could be one of the questions you might ask. Python is actually the world's most popular programming language for data science, web development, and automation. Um, well, in programming, there is also some loyalty that almost resembles sports teams, especially soccer loyalty, whereby there will always be debates over, for example, Ronaldo, Messi, which one is the best team, which one is the best country for the World Cup, and so forth. So Python also has its competition, like other programming languages, especially Java, who would also come in and claim the very first statement I just said in saying it's the most popular programming language, then obviously Python will then say, as far as data science, we win, and then Java will then come in and say, as far as web apps, we win, and then the rest is history. So to really sit here and try to debate about who's the best, who's the most popular could be tricky. It just depends on the source. The most important thing that you should just know, once you pick a language, which for you right now, I just picked Python for you, just go as deep as you can. And once you do so, you'll be able to translate into any other language. And I'm sure you'll be meeting a lot of people talking a lot about interesting programming languages like your Java, your JavaScript, and also introducing other programming languages like the new ones, such as what is called Dart coming from Google and all those things. Never let that disturb you in your learning. Just know that for a fact, the hardest part of learning how to program is the beginning. After that, you'll be knowing the ideas behind, you'll be understanding why you are doing what you're doing. Because most of the times, the most frustrating part about learning something new is to understand why you are doing whatever you will be doing. So once you start understanding what you are doing in programming, the rest of the other programming languages, whatever they might be in all their different shapes and sizes, they will not disturb you. They will be very easy for you to understand. So please focus on Python only. Don't get carried away trying to learn 5 languages at the same time. It's unnecessary. You will never actually ever be in a situation where you need 10 languages at the same time. I have a lot of friends who are developers, and the most highly paid ones are specialists in a particular language. Usually these days in Python. Then there are other languages that they can add on top, 2 or 3, at most 4. Half the time they are always in the environment of one language. So please pay attention to just this. It will give you everything you need. And whenever the reason to move to another language comes later on in your life, it will be very easy and seamless. Another advantage of using Python is that it's very readable. Python reads almost like plain English. It is the easiest first language to learn and understand. Here, that's where Python really shines. No other programming language can really come close in terms of being able to be readable. When we say readable, consider trying to read a different language. If I was to give you something written maybe in French from your English, you could follow and understand where things could be going. The same can be said if I was to give you something written in Chinese, because the characters are totally different from the English alphabetical characters. So when we say readability, we are saying how easy it is for someone who has never read code before, because it's important to read code. For someone who has never written code before, because obviously you need to write it, how easy is it to get accustomed and work your way around with a particular language? So certain languages are difficult. To avoid unnecessary debates, I won't mention names, but if you are a nerd like me, I'm sure there are certain languages that are already coming into your brain. But if not, do not worry about it. As time goes on, you'll be able to enter the debate and also maybe vote for your own best language. But probably you agree that Python is the easiest when it comes to learning, and it's also the easiest when it comes to reading and trying to understand what it means. It is also versatile. It is used at Google, Netflix, NASA, and every major bank. One language that does almost everything. So that's another important thing to consider when learning a programming language. You don't want to learn a programming language that is only for a particular thing, unless if that particular thing is the only thing that you need to do. In most cases, you want to put yourself more in a general position where you can always be flexible, because maybe you might lose your job and need to look for another one. You might start your own company, you might want to start your own projects. It's always best to have a language that can support a lot of that flexibility. Python is that. And then it is also free forever. Python is open source and free. So is Google Colab that we also use here. You see all that. So you need nothing but a browser to start. So by the end of this module, you write real Python code that runs, literally, starting today. I hope you are as excited as I am to get into this fascinating world of programming that we're about to enter into. And keep learning.